If there's a purpose to anything spiritual, it's to make you realize that it is insufficient. I would say that the point of any spiritual path is to exhaust the seeker. And when the seeker is exhausted, you're left with one final desire, the simple desire for truth. Until you are completely done with suffering, you're still going to suffer. And the main energy that usually sustains the quality and the depth of someone's freedom is their curiosity, their passion, and their interest in the truth. And this is very different from a desire to end suffering. Like, realize this: you probably, when you were younger, were more aligned and were more in favor for just knowing the truth. There was something in your experience, whether it was you loved science, whether it was you loved astrophysics or astronomy or whatever it might have been, there would have been something in your experience most of the time, for most people, where they just found it interesting and they were curious. Even if it was just simple thoughts when you were young, like, do ghosts exist? Do spirits exist? Is there a soul? Things like that. And it could be anything. But there was always this natural curiosity just to simply know what is in the great beyond, what is the truth of our experience. We might not formulate it in a question like that, but nonetheless, there is this deep curiosity. And this curiosity is the fuel to actually find the truth. We get lost along the way. We start to suffer. We start to want to remove our suffering, and then we figure out, oh well, apparently, there's this state of mind, and it's a pretty happy state of mind, and you don't suffer there. And we try to find that state of mind in order to end suffering. Well, the biggest mistake we make is firstly to believe that there's a state of mind, because that would mean that we shouldn't be content with the ordinary state of mind that we experience day to day. That's the first big mistake. The second big mistake is that we then want to remove our suffering. We lose passion, curiosity, interest. We lose the innocent explorer and adventurer in us, and it becomes overshrouded with this seeking energy. And this seeking energy prevents the truth from showing. It's like walking around with orange tinted glasses and trying to see blue. You'll never see blue. You see, everything will appear in accordance to the mind with which you are exploring the world. And if you're exploring the world with a seeking mind, that seeking energy will prevent you from seeing it. So this is why you see so many videos and people talking about to end seeking, remove the seeker. The only problem with this is that you'll only end the seeking if you feel like you found something. But the thing we find doesn't necessarily have to be the thing that we thought we were looking for. You see? What we can do is we can see that there is actually only one desire. It's happiness, whether to find it or to express it, whether in direction of or an expression of. There is no other decisions that we make other than those two, which is essentially one. It's a decision based on happiness. So when I say this, I don't mean this like metaphorically. I'm not just summarizing a general amount of things, and there's a couple of ideas or a couple of desires that are different. I mean every single desire is either coming in direction of happiness, going outward to try and find it, or it's an expression of happiness. And why this is important is because we realize now I want to thoroughly investigate that, because don't just listen to me say it and believe it. I mean, if it resonates on your experience right now, then great, but genuinely contemplate this, because the importance of that is actually seeing that that's true. Actually seeing that, holy shit, actually every decision I've ever made in my life has either been trying to find some degree of happiness, or I've been sharing it or expressing it. I've either been looking, and I mean every desire, the desire to look this direction, that direction, to move your arm, to do this, every single thing that you've ever done in your life is either it's either in the direction of finding it or in the direction of sharing it. So with that being said, if this is the source of every single desire, the next thing to see is then why on earth would I spend another second wasting time? If I'm going to be doing that anyway, whether consciously or unconsciously, why don't I be very conscious about what I'm actually doing in my approach to finding happiness? And then it becomes a much deeper investigation. And that very recognition is what we could consider to be a Kundalini awakening. A Kundalini awakening is not just it's not a serpent climbing up your spine. It's not energy that's actually like, it's all symbolic. And what this means is that it creates an energy that is one pointed towards the truth. Instead of investigating 10,000 things and looking out into the world for different books, teachers and objects and practices and things like that, our energy is just one pointed. It's focused, right? It's disciplined without the discipline. Like there's no disciplining, but it's like the most disciplined energy, if that makes sense, without having to actually like rigidly work hard to vigorously discipline. No, it's natural. It's a natural consequence. It's the natural discipline. And what happens then is that, well, the trajectory of our approach is we find deep curiosity, passion, and interest. We start to become an explorer. And it's in this exploring energy, in this adventuring energy, that is way different to the seeking energy. The seeking energy is grasping, it's seeking, it's suffering, it's trying to take. Adventuring energy is open. Think of the difference between a seeker and an adventurer. An adventurer is open. It's still out there, it's still being active, but it doesn't care about what it finds. You see, it's just searching for the sake of the search. It's just enjoying it. It's adventuring, exploring it. It's impersonal to what happens, and it just enjoys that process. This is where the truth reveals itself. It doesn't reveal itself when we're in this seeking, grasping, I want to remove my suffering energy. You're not in that energy when you're like playing a game or having sex. At least I hope not. So take the same energy and just apply that to the rest of your life. Find it fun, like find that interest, because that will be the fuel of the entire process. And to the extent with which or in which we have and feel that curiosity, passion, and interest, not to remove our suffering, but to actually engage with the world, explore our experience, and just find out new fascinating things and just enjoying it, that will be what it'll just accelerate everything in your life to the most positive degree. So I just wanted to share a little bit on that. I have a free community where I give this type of guidance every single week for free. If you'd like to join, feel free. The link's in the description, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye.